5 reasons why you should go into consulting, but I'll make it a bit more interesting and also give you some practical details that you won't know unless you're on the inside. Hello, if you're new here, I'm Anastasia, I'm 27 years old and I'm based in London in the UK. I work in a Big 4 consulting firm. I'm a people consultant and I do things like change management, culture and leadership, and I've been in my job for about 2.5 years. Let's get into the video. Number 1 is coffee chat culture. This was one of my favorite things ever since I started, and I have not had in any other job that I've had before. It's absolutely normal to just email or message or just send a calendar invite saying that I'm really interested in this topic that I know you've worked on before. Would it be okay for us to grab a quick virtual coffee or in-person coffee if they're nearby? People will say yes to that. Number 2, so what do you actually do doesn't have an answer / it has 100 different answers depending on your project. If you are looking for variety, if you're a person who easily gets bored, if you want your work to just change up every once in a while, but you don't want to switch jobs to do that, this is kind of a way to have many jobs, but without switching a job. I'll give you a few examples from my work. One project I had was about creating an organizational structure across various locations and teams. Another project I had was about doing a culture assessment, seeing what people value in their personal lives, what they're seeing currently in their organization, and what they would like to see in their organization that's not there. The work is very different. Number 3 is practicing managing early. When you first join as an analyst, even then, say like half a year or 1 year in, it may be the case that you are given someone to manage who is more junior than you. Because consulting has so many intakes of people all the time, particularly in big firms, of course, there's always fresh people coming in who are more junior than you. If you know even a little bit more than them, or you have a little bit more experience than them, you are given the responsibility of managing someone, or at least like delegating to them and using them to support you earlier on than I've seen in any other job. Again, I've not heard of this. I've not heard of someone who's an analyst managing another analyst, but here that happens a lot of the time. Number 4 is flexible ways of working and flexible timings throughout the day to some extent. What I mean by this is, before, I've never had a job where it was completely normal to just tell your manager, by the way, I've got this thing that I have to go to, say like a house viewing or a medical appointment during the day. I'm just gonna work a bit later, or I'm gonna start a bit earlier. In the same vein, I've kind of noticed that with annual leave, I find it much easier here to just tell people when I'm going as opposed to asking them. Sometimes flexible working ends up being you work all the normal hours plus more, and again, that's a topic of work-life balance, which I can rant on a lot of the time. But the flip side of that is, in quieter times, no one's gonna be looking at your status on Teams. At least I don't think so. So if you have a quiet day, you are absolutely fine to go do your own stuff, and no one's precious about what you're doing as long as your work is done. And final number 5 is, you're gonna become much more confident with winging it, with approaching something you don't know or are uncomfortable with, or just when you have no idea what the hell is going on. People come to consultants like experts in particular topics, like we usually have frameworks for particular things, but no single project is falling neatly into anything that we've previously created. So to tailor a thing to a particular client, or to just approach a topic you know nothing about, you're gonna learn to use your network a lot. I have a few people who are regularly pinged just with random questions, being like, by the way, do you have any examples of this? Do you have any examples of that? Everyone helps everyone to crowdsource the knowledge. There's definitely a strong culture of exchanging knowledge and just sharing things that might be helpful. And also, as you do that, personally, I love knowing a lot about stuff and then talking about it. I feel at my most confident speaking when I'm well versed in the topic. Doesn't happen all the time in consulting, and a lot of situations I've had have just required me to kind of be like, yes, I don't know currently how to do this, but I know that I can figure this out, and then going and figuring it out. So I think consulting teaches you a lot to just be comfortable with the unknown, be comfortable with figuring it out on the fly, and be comfortable familiarizing yourself with something proactively and then using that to do the things you're supposed to do. This is the counterpart to the 5 reasons why you should not Go Into Consulting video, which I'm going to link down below. Go and have a watch and see what you think, see if you agree, if you're in consulting as well. Let me know any other thoughts, any other points that come to mind in the comments below. I'm gonna see you in the next one. Bye.